Hey guys, welcome back to Super Platinum Achievement. I'm Mitch.
I'm Austin.
And today we're going to talk about Xbox's game showcase that they had. Now they they said 22 games. I only counted 21.
We both counted 21.
I don't know what we missed if they counted one as 2, but we're going to say 21 games that they showed off on their showcase.
Yes.
The first one being something that nobody was surprised about, and that's Halo Infinite, but we actually got to see some gameplay.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest, I was underwhelmed. For a big Halo game that's, they've hyped up a lot, it looked like Halo 5.
Yeah, they're like, it's much, their fidelity and graphics, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I'm looking at things like their textures are loading poorly.
Yeah, they had texture loading
Even
issues.
the gun he was holding just didn't look good. It wasn't defined and stuff like that. So, is this really what they're starting the show with, to show the power of the Xbox Series X with Halo? And it just doesn't look that
Didn't
good.
look great. I am excited that it is going to be more open. They talked about it's a pseudo open world.
Yeah, they
it's
said
not going to be as big.
They said it's bigger than their last 2 Halo games combined.
Right.
So that's at least positive.
That's exciting. I'm excited to explore a big world as Master Chief. So I'll play it. That's for sure. I mean, they also talked about how all these games are going to be available on Game Pass.
Game Pass.
I have Game Pass, so I guess I'll play it when it comes out.
Yeah, and I have Game Pass on my computer, and that's the funny thing. It's all these games are going to be on computer and PC. So,
but yeah, Halo, a little underwhelming. It looks like it'll be a good, fun game still, but for what?
I mean, there's some cool things. He's like a grapple hook now, and I forget exactly all the new stuff I was seeing, but it's probably pretty fun and probably plays well. It just wasn't a good presentation, or I don't know what the deal is, or maybe
hopefully it'll be a little bit more polished when it comes out.
And my interpretation is that doing the dual release on the Xbox One and then also the Series X is really holding back the Series X version of it. Mm-hmm. That's my opinion, because they built the game for both. So I think we talked about this in a previous video of ours. Is Xbox for the first year is going to be, the games aren't probably going to be as good as what PlayStation 5.
It'll be a dual release. Yeah.
So by that trailer and that demo, it's pretty evident that actually might
it's
be
an
the
Xbox
case.
One game.
Yeah. So, the next one from there, they moved to State of Decay 3. No surprise there. It's a pretty big, popular game by Microsoft. So, I mean, they had a nice cinematic trailer. So, nothing new, no gameplay or anything.
No gameplay. There wasn't a release date on it.
No, I don't think. A lot of these didn't have a release date. I know a few did, but...
And then the next one was their world premiere of the new Forza Motorsports.
Yes.
Or Forza Motorsports.
No surprise again?
Yeah, no surprise. One of the big 3 of Xbox's games. We got 2 of their big 3. I'm not big on racing games, just like I said with PlayStation's event. I'm not, super excited for Gran Turismo. I'm not super excited for Forza. So that's just me personally, not huge on racing games.
So, I am a fan, and I actually am kind of excited to see, because this is the first time we've ever seen Forza launch alongside a Gran Turismo. They've never launched in the same year before. So
they're racing.
Yeah, exactly. They're racing each other. So I'd actually would be curious to see a direct comparison between the two, because it's always like Forza has a game out and the Gran Turismo hasn't done one, and then
2 years later.
Yeah, it's never been the same time. So I'm curious to see who actually is the better looking racer game and
who sells more copies.
Yeah, that's true, because my experience with Forza, I've never liked the way the driving feels compared to Gran Turismo. So.
Yeah. And I've only played one game of each, so I'm not the best person to judge either one. So, in my opinion.
But after that, we got the new title from Rare. So, they're coming off their Sea of Thieves, it looks like, for a new title called Everwild. And we did not get too much. It was just kind of ethereal music playing, and the people are with these creatures, and
very Avatar-esque.
It's very focused on the animals and the spirits of the animals.
Connection to nature.
Yeah. Looks cool, the art style.
Very, very pretty looking.
Yeah.
I love cell shading. I'm a big fan. Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker, Rime is cell shading. This looks really, really good. But we just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah,
we know the theme behind it, but we don't know what kind of gameplay style it's going to be. They did mention that you're exploring this world, so I imagine it's going to be an open world game.
So,
but we
Sea
don't know.
of Thieves-esque, but just with creatures.
Yeah, but we don't know if it's going to have any combat or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
and then the next one was Tell Me Why. Tell me why.
Tell me why you showed us this game.
Because it looked like it should have came out 15 years ago. I think I was giving a little more credit, saying like, it could have been Xbox One, but he's saying even 360.
Yeah, it looked like a 360 game, PlayStation 3 game.
I mean, you even said at one point in the trailer, the guy's like actually floating above the snow.
Yeah, there was a good couple inches between him. The mouth movement was just like,
I don't know if it's just the art style they decided to go for, but it's like, for me, it's not a way to show off the power of your brand new console with a game that looks like I could play on my phone.
Yeah.
And that's an episodic game. Chapter 1, I believe, comes out in just a few months.
Yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head. So
it was cringeworthy to me.
Yeah, I mean,
it did not look good at all.
I'm not a huge fan of those episodic games, like Life is Strange and like things like Telltale games. I know friends of mine love them, and maybe this is something they would like. But just to me, I'm like, the stories are interesting and cool, but it's just not the way I like to play a game.
Right. And then the next one they talked about isn't anything new at all.
No.
It's Ori Will of the Wisps, which is already out on Xbox, PC, but they basically said, it's coming with smart delivery to the Series X, and it'll look way better because it's going to run on 120 frames a second. It's going to have a much better a refresh rate.
Yeah.
And they showed us a side-by-side.
The 60 hertz versus 120 hertz, which,
Yeah, sorry, 120 hertz, not frame rate.
It might be frame rate too. I don't know, but
I believe it was 60 frames.
Yeah,
but I can't remember.
I think everything he said was 60 frames, which cracks me up because I have this game on a 165 hertz TV and it plays. Well, I guess that's overclocked, so 144. But yeah, I can play this game at 144 hertz on my computer, and the way they did it is like, this is the first time we've ever seen Ori like this. I'm like, is it though?
Yeah.
It looked like that in March when it came out. For me,
for PC,
which cracks me up because everything here is coming to PC.
None of this is a Xbox Series X exclusive. Yeah. It's all Microsoft exclusives. Yeah. PC, Xbox One, Series X.
So
coming out on all three, every single one of these games.
We just thought that was kind of silly to include. Like, I guess it's gonna be there.
Not as silly as another game, I think, that they included in here.
Yeah, we'll get to there. So the next one was a DLC expansion for the Outer Worlds. Which,
that's pretty cool.
I think it's cool. I don't think it should have been in their showcase though by any means, because it's a game that came out almost a year ago. It was really popular, but it's not an exclusive anymore because it's on the Switch. Mm-hmm. It's on PC and obviously Xbox, I believe.
But it's
on everyone. I think
Xbox did purchase Obsidian after they had already put this out on the other systems.
I don't think this was the place for a DLC announcement, at least for like a game showcase for a new console. So
they thought that because they did
apparently
it a couple
they
other
did.
times.
So and that comes out September 9th, so that's pretty soon.
Yeah, another game that they talked about, also from Obsidian.
Yes.
The trailer was actually really funny. It made me laugh. If you're looking forward to the biggest game of this year, wait for Cyberpunk.
Yes,
that was pretty funny.
This game is not it.
That's Grounded.
Yes.
That comes out later this month, and you'll be able to have it on Game Pass. And that game looks like it could be a lot of fun.
So we've seen Grounded before. It's like a survival game
Nothing
where you're
new.
Miniaturized in the yard kind of thing. So
and it's got some building aspects. You build your little fort out of leaves and grass and sticks. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. But once again, nothing new.
Mm-hmm. But Obsidian did, we had the guy from Obsidian come on the screen and say there is a new game that we're working on, and they showed off a brief trailer, and it is called Avowed, and it looks like a very,
It looks like Skyrim.
Probably is what they're going for. So medieval, sword and arrow game, but they said it's an RPG, like Obsidian style RPG. So that's probably the one game so far I was like really excited to see.
Yeah, that one, this looks pretty good.
Yeah, because I know Obsidian does a really good job on their games. They always have. So I'm, now with the backing of Microsoft, hopefully it just gets better.
Yeah, they just have the money now to.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for that one. We got very little information, just the fact that it kind of exists, and Obsidian's working on a big RPG. So
yeah, that's why it reminded me of Skyrim so much, is because the first thing they showed was he, had his magic in his hand and he had his sword.
Yeah, it's true. It's very. That's
first person. Obsidian's worked alongside Bethesda before, so they stole some ideas.
Yeah, for sure. So
yeah, that was really the first one that I was really excited about in this showcase.
That was like a new game that we haven't heard of.
Yeah,
really, because up to this point it was very limited on that. So
The next one, another world premiere of As Dusk Falls. And this is a very odd looking art style that they showed us. It was like freeze frames.
Yeah, like
where like some of the environment was moving, but the characters were always still.
Yeah.
I assume that's how the game's going to play out because it's an interactive drama. But I don't know for sure. They might add some other, and the characters might actually move. But I assume it's going to be like, stop go animation.
yeah, so
Or stop motion animation.
yeah. So it could be interesting. We'll see. But didn't really see anything besides the trailer, unfortunately. So, which I guess for a lot of the games, it's just mostly trailers.
Yeah.
The next game, though, we did not get a new trailer. They just kind of brought it up. It's Hellblade 2. So they kind of talked about, we're happy that you guys enjoyed Hellblade 1. We're working on Hellblade 2. And they talked about the trailer they released last December. That was about it. Nothing new.
Just mentioned it. Yep. Yes,
like,
it's still coming.
Hey, it's coming. Might be the biggest game that Xbox has at the moment. Because, oh, boy. So, yeah, that was another one that's like, wasn't a surprise we knew about.
Speaking of things we already knew about, that's Psychonauts.
Yes.
Psychonauts 2, they showed Jack Black doing a lot of the scene, which I love Jack Black.
Yeah, so it sounds like he's like one of the voices of the characters or something.
Yeah, he's a voice of some
The little ball of light.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
character. So that looks like it actually could be an enjoyable game. It's about the senses. It showed, the tongues and eyes and noses. It's all about the senses.
it looks odd.
It's an odd looking game, but it looks like it could be a really fun platform.
I know people love the first Psychonauts game, and I was looking at the comments after the event, and everyone's like, Psychonauts 2, I can't wait! So I'm like, people obviously are pumped about it. I guess we're just not, because we never played the first one. So, I mean, it's a good platformer, apparently. So apparently, we never played, so we played different platformers. Mario.
Yeah.
The real platformers. The next game they announced, which is not a game that's new by any means, is Destiny 2. So kind of interesting thing. So they talked about the new expansion Beyond Light for Destiny 2, which will be for everyone. There's no way that's going to be a timed exclusive with a game like Destiny 2. But the fact that they're bringing it to Game Pass was kind of a big deal. Thought it was odd that was another one that made it into the conference, because it's like no surprise. Everyone gets Destiny 2. I mean, it's even on Stadia, so it's not like it's really an exclusive at all. So
Yeah.
But just the fact that it's going to be on Game Pass, I think, was kind of the main point.
Yeah. And then the next one they talked about is a new game.
Yes.
This one got a lot of people excited. I haven't played the first one, but it did look like a style of game I would be interested in, and that's Stalker 2. They didn't show us, it was a cinematic trailer. They didn't show us any gameplay, but it got a lot of people online pumped.
Yeah,
So
I think that was the game most people were excited to see, was probably Stalker 2.
Yeah.
At least for, I've never even heard of Stalker, so I don't even know. I was like, oh, well, another Stalker, I guess. But other people are obviously excited, so,
But
Give or take.
anyway, yeah, Stalker 2, it does look like a game that I would be interested in playing, but now, of course, I would want to play Stalker 1 if it's a continuation.
yeah, for sure.
But that one got a lot of people pumped.
Yeah. The next game was Warhammer Dark Tide. So it was kind of more of a cinematic where there's a team of 4 goes down there, and they're like, well, they're talking to someone like, oh, they'll see what the team finds, and they turn around and it's like, I don't know if they're like zombies or what they were.
It looked like zombies.
Okay, there was like thousands and thousands of them. So if it's like Warhammer Vermintide, which was a co-op first-person RPG set in like medieval times where you could like cast spells and do swords and stuff, this might be a Warhammer like set in the future with guns, I guess. If it's like Vermintide, which it probably is, because Warhammer is also, it's a tabletop game. It's also a like strategy RTS game, or I don't know. So there's a lot of Warhammer titles out there.
Yeah, like Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing.
So
Yeah.
it's a little different, but the success of Vermintide probably brought this along. So hopefully we'll see more on it, and it might be actually pretty good.
Looks like that one actually could be a really fun game. The next one, though, was
Game
probably
we've never heard before. Absolutely not.
Their biggest announcement
Yes.
of the showcase. And that's Tetris. I can't even keep a straight face. Tetris Effect. Now this
Connected.
one, Tetris Effect Connected. You play online Tetris.
So what it reminds me of is Tetris 99, which is the battle royale version of
Switch.
Tetris on the Switch.
Which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what this looks like to me, because it's Tetris Effect is not a new game, but they're adding this connected element where you can play with
Other people.
anyone, I guess. I don't know. I saw Dan Record
was
for Giant Bomb on there, just playing with his cat. So
Yeah.
I said I'd send a picture of my friend. I'm like, look who it is.
It was a really, really odd choice to put in this showcase. Like, really?
Again, like
Tetris?
there's a lot of odd decisions that went into the showcase, and that was one of them. I was like, why are they showing this off? So I don't know. And then they actually showed off a new game that actually looks good.
It looks really good. I was like, okay, here we go.
The Gunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it away.
Yeah, this game looks like a lot of fun. The art style is really cool. You're on this different planet, and you come into contact with
The
Gunk. And you've got this cool robotic glove that's also
you're like
a
sucking the-
Kirby vacuum.
Yeah, you're like sucking the
attached,
gunk up.
Or
and-
Dyson. It does a little bit better than a Kirby, so it's got a Dyson attached. But you suck up the gunk, and that's how you open passages, and it looked like a lot of fun. A platformer
Yes.
is what it was, and I
There's
looked
obviously
really
some,
good.
There's some enemies that showed up at the very end, so
Yeah.
obviously something's not happy. You're taking the Gunk, so
Yeah, that's my gunk.
the Gunk monsters.
The Gunk Monsters. It looked like a fun game. This was the second game that I actually got like excited for. Like, yeah, I'll play that.
Yeah.
The Gunk. The next one also looked really good too.
Yes, this looked. I think this was the best looking game
Yeah.
I saw in the whole thing, which is the Medium. I guess you're a medium where you can communicate with the spirit world, but so it seemed like you had your persona in the real world and then also the spirit world or whatever.
Dual
And
play.
the
at
game
same time.
renders to both the worlds at the exact same time. So it's either you switch into them or at one
It
point
showed split screen.
yeah, so split screen. So on one side she's looking through a doorway, there's nothing there, but in the other world she's looking through a doorway and there's like a demon or something.
Yeah.
So
That game looked really good, but it's a timed exclusive.
Yes.
So this is not going to be a Microsoft exclusive. It will come to the PlayStation 5. We don't know exactly when, but it is confirmed that it is a timed exclusive and will come. Like a lot of these aren't all exclusive games. The next one being Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, which Phantasy Star Online does have a cult following. It has since the original released on the Sega Dreamcast, and then it came onto the GameCube. Phantasy Star Online 2 has been out for several years on these systems as a free-to-play game. Once again, not a Microsoft exclusive. It's made by the Sonic team for Sega. So, I mean, if you like Phantasy Star Online, it's like, oh, cool, a new story aspect to it, but it wasn't, super big and exciting, especially put toward the end of the showcase.
another game the next game they showed off was Crossfire X, which they showed off the campaign of it, which I thought was a weird. They said Crossfire X campaign, and then later says the multiplayer will be free to play with Xbox Live subscription, which I thought they're getting rid of, but I don't know. So it's the makers of Control and Alan Wake, so it's Remedy, which so it makes me think that this is not an exclusive game either, because
We couldn't confirm this.
yeah. So
but
because that studio is not owned by anyone.
we'd
They're-
be shocked if it isn't exclusive.
yeah. So I was literally getting Alan Wake vibes when I watched the trailer. So I don't know. The guy finds this special suit, and then he becomes like this super soldier. I don't know. I didn't follow it. It was kind of weird. So we'll see. There's obviously
that didn't excite me or anything, but
I like Remedy as a developer. Control was my favorite game that came out last year. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to this game just because I like their supernatural element that they do
Yeah.
in these games, which they kind of show that they have that. So more to come on that game, hopefully, and maybe it'll be another good one. But it wasn't one I was like, yeah, that looks cool.
Right, it was like, all right.
It looks like a shooter, and you're like a normal special soldier like Call of Duty, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
And then after that, they said, hey, this is the end of the showcase. We are going to have another showcase before the end of the year. Same thing like Ubisoft did.
I think Sony's even said the same thing.
Did they?
well,
Yeah, I didn't know Sony did. But yeah, so they've got more games, hopefully, to show us.
Yeah, because
And then they did what everybody does. No big surprise. But wait, there's more! And this is the game that everybody's been waiting for. There's been rumors about it for years, and that is Fable. Now, it is not Fable 4. This is a Fable reboot. So they just showed a cinematic trailer, I guess, of a fairy flying around. You see the sword, very much the Fable art style. And they didn't have any gameplay or anything. It was just a little bit of a teaser, and it showed the big toad swallowing the fairy. So very much the English humor that they talk about. And yeah, that's their big game. It's going to get a lot of people excited. That is one that I am probably most excited about. I love that style of game. And they did say the thing that actually was exciting to me is it's all coming to Game Pass. I'm a Game Pass member, so I'm going to be able to play all these games. But at the same time, it's like I have no reason to buy a Series X.
Yeah, same for me.
Zero reason.
After watching, like, just compare Sony's, it was just game, new game after new game after new game, and then they announced the console, and like, I want it so much. And then after this, I'm just like, well, I knew that was coming. We knew that was coming. I mean, I figured that was coming. Oh, we knew that was coming. Oh, that's cool. Oh, we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
And it didn't really want me to go.
It was like every fourth game, it was like, oh.
Yeah, like it, but it didn't want me to go out and like buy an Xbox.
Well, and even
Series
then,
X,
everything they showed, you look at it, and I was like, all right, is there anything that I would feel disappointed if it wasn't running on a Series X? And I'm like, I think the Xbox One could handle all these games just fine.
Yeah, if you like what you just saw, please like and subscribe our channel. Share some videos. Subscribe. You're putting more words in my mouth.
Don't forget about our giveaway.
Yes.
If you want all the details, watch our other videos before we do give all the details about our giveaway coming up for a $25 gift card
Free
to the
for you.
Free for you.
If you just like us.
With a little bit more than that.
We need more.
$25 game store of your choice. Thanks for stopping by with Super Platinum Achievement. We hope to see you again.